go double today, Kelly. We're going to have to go all the way down.
Are we double dipping? Woo! Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another fantastic show. I'm excited to be here. I hope you are too. My name's Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week serving up a double dip of podcasting for your professional taste.
Oh, my gosh. Speaking of taste, I'm going to just dive right in, James. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm not following our regular format. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited about what I'm talking about. However, how are you? Let's check in with you before I take over the show.
It's time for our opening segment, Conversation Starters, this week brought to you by Chimerasec. Tonight's conversation starter comes from a list of first date questions. Do you prefer Spanish? Yeah, see, I went to this page, and the very first question I saw literally was, do you prefer Spanish? And I was like, that can't be a first date question. Oh, it's for me.
Can't be.
Oh, I'm the visitor, I
Oh,
see.
Okay.
So
okay.
I said yes, and the next question
All right.
I got was, ¿Qué te gusta hacer en tu tiempo libre?
Time for freedom?
What do you do, and what do you like to do in your free time?
What do you like to do? Oh, ahora no soy habla español.
Me neither, but I know tiempo libre means free time because I named
time.
an island range tiempo libre because I thought it
Got
sounded
it.
great.
So do I prefer Spanish? No, because that is not a language that I can fluently speak. So there. However, I am slowly picking it up here and there because I do like to visit Mexico, and I do try and speak my broken Spanish. And they're very nice with me. They're very nice with me because I'm doing it all wrong, and they correct me gently. So
Like a little child.
exactly. I think a 2-year-old speaks better Spanish than I would. So I
That's
try.
because
I try.
2-year-olds have less to do, Kelly. They're less focused on the greater things in life and more about
That's
just learning
true.
how to interact with their betters, us, adults.
It is true. I agree with that. They have less on their plate, less worry. As long as their nappies are clean and they got naps because they're tired and their bellies are full, it's awesome. All right.
Wait a
jumping
minute.
into
You've
it.
just described me.
Oh, did I? Aw,
I need
you
a
are like
nappy and a
sweet-
belly and whatever else you said there.
My
yes.
sweet summer child. Yes, you are such
Sweet,
a sweet
oh,
thing.
sweet summer child.
Sweet summer
Are you
child.
watching Game of Thrones again?
No.
Oh, sweet summer child, you don't know the horrors that befell us when last it was winter. Giant spiders ripping off people's faces and pooping where they really shouldn't poop.
Oh, no bad pooping spiders. No, we don't like those. Okay. Anyway, which I find this.
The Pooping Spiders of Westeros, HBO presents.
Isn't that a punk band in Westeros, the Pooping Spiders?
Sadly, they were destroyed along with the rest of King's Landing in the worst episode of TV ever
The
filmed.
worst episode. I want my money back. James, the feds, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission.
Are they coming after us again? Are we?
Not
Did we
us.
declare ourselves to be a bank by mistake?
Not us. They are reportedly looking into why McDonald's ice cream machines are always busted.
They think it's a bait and switch. They think they trick you into the McDonald's with the non-functional ice cream machine.
No, basically, they see these reports, or people have posted. There is actually a 24-year-old software engineer who designed an interactive map that will show you which McDonald's have broken ice cream. It's called McBusted. And because there's so many of them, the FTC is looking into it as far as like, what's the problem with these machines? Is it just that they're complicated? Can the franchisees not be able to fix them on their own? Or do they have to? So they're digging into it as to why. The FTC, however, has declined to comment on this. But basically, the move comes as the Biden administration looks broadly at whether manufacturers have been blocking owners from fixing broken products themselves. So that's kind of what's going on.
Yeah, that actually
So, yeah.
happens a lot in modern hardware, actually, is that people, even owners, are not allowed by the license that comes with the product to fix it themselves.
Yep. So basically,
Yeah.
advocates of the right to repair movement say companies should not make it nearly impossible
Yeah.
for users and independent technicians to repair modern products.
Not
So there
just
you go.
impossible, but also like illegal. Like technically you signed a form that said you wouldn't tinker with it. And that's just like, that's so antithetical to the way our grandfathers were, right? They would just tear everything apart and fix it.
However, McDonald's doesn't believe it's under investigation. In a statement, McDonald's said it had no reason to believe it was a focus. And this is from the statement says, nothing is more important to us than delivering on our high standards for food quality and safety, which is why we work with fully vetted partners that can reliably provide safe solutions at scale.
Except in the situation of the ice cream machine. I swear, this is another influence, a confluence of what the public wants and what science can provide. Like it's the COVID vaccine, but in microcosm, the ice cream machine.
But in microcosm.
Everybody wants to go to McDonald's and get ice cream, and at least according to the setup in this, no manufacturer can provide a machine that will satisfy that demand.
So I am looking right now at McBroken.com. This interactive
is
map.
the one near my house still making ice cream? That's the one I care about.
That's the one you care about. I am seeing that
my hair is at the worst possible length. I'm trying to get my headphones to cover it up, but it's not happening.
28% of the ice cream machines in the Philadelphia area are not functioning. 24% non-functioning in New York.
I want to see the percentage of non-functioning machines graphed against the average temperature.
It would be fascinating. That really would be fascinating. Yeah, I know in Houston it says 14.5% machines are not working. So McBroken. I'm going to put a link in on our show page just so you can follow it. Because if you're as frustrated as I am when all you want is a McShake or an ice cream
McFlurry.
I'm sorry, a McFlurry, Shamrock Shakes especially. Don't break around Shamrock Shake time. That's the only time I get a shake
That's the
from
winter
McDonald's.
time. It's not so hot in the winter. There's not such a high demand in the winter time.
That's March. It's March. Okay, so I will put up a link for McBroken. Also, James, I found this fascinating. It is a study that comes out of the American Institute of Physics. Okay? And scientists there say males who speak less clearly or mumble tend to be more attractive to the opposite sex because women see it as a sign of masculinity.
Well, I don't man.
I've changed my mind. I find you highly attractive.
Oh, I didn't know your mind was anywhere else. Thanks for the update.
And conversely, in this study, men find precise pronunciation alluring because it signifies femininity.
Mm-hmm.
I am so not feminine at all, but I do speak very clearly.
You have an excellent radio voice, Kelly.
I do, and I have a face for radio, hence the reason why I had 10 years in it. Thank you. So basically what they're saying is from a sexual selection standpoint, males with traits that are slightly more masculine than average are typically preferred, which in this context would make males with less clear speech more attractive. You know what?
Because unclear speech is masculine?
Is not yes, is masculine.
That would make Sylvester Stallone the most masculine human being on the planet Earth.
Exactly. He is. I believe he's up there, isn't he? Well, if you think of Marlon Brando.
Oh, right.
Frank Sinatra nicknamed him Mr. Mumbles, I think is what it was.
That sounds about right.
When he worked with him on Guys and Dolls. But yeah, Marlon Brando was kind of a mumbler, and look at the big following he had. And
But Frank Sinatra had great elocution, and he was also very attractive. So I don't know who draws these lines.
And it's the university or the American Institute of Physics that did the study.
So they really have no business. They should stay in their lane and be analyzing subatomic particles.
Scientists.
What's the most masculine quark, dumbasses?
Oh yeah. So start mumbling today, guys. If you're having issues with getting women's attention or females' attention, start mumbling a bit and see how that works. I know that when my husband, if he's speaking quietly or it sounds like he frustrates the hell out of me, I'm like, I don't understand you. Now he would turn around and say I'm losing my hearing. We have this disagreement all the time. So
that's what being married is like.
Yep, being married. Do you play the marriage game at home?
I don't know what that is, but of course I do.
We call it the game of marriage. It's with the trash. And you keep shoving it in and shoving it in and shoving it in and not taking it out. We call that the game of marriage.
Yes. Our version of that is I'll put my coat on when you look like you're ready to leave.
Perfect. That is also a good game of marriage as well. Yes. Ours is shoving the trash down as hard as you can so you don't have to take it out. The game of marriage is
Right.
nobody wins that game.
This is
Nobody.
how neutron stars are formed. You just keep packing that matter in there harder and harder until finally it ignites.
Exactly. Exactly. Also, it's September, so one of my most favorite months, September and October, are my two favorite months out of the year, simply
Because
because
they're very clearly named after completely the wrong number.
exactly. But no, it's fall colors. The weather starts getting a little cooler. Halloween is around the corner for me. Halloween starts September 1st. That's when it starts.
Pumpkin
So I've
spice
already
is
got-
on the breeze.
It's on. It's already there. Starbucks has a couple of new beverages for pumpkin spice. The traditional pumpkin spice latte, and I know pumpkin spice gets a lot of heat. There's people. Who are
Yeah,
like,
it
"I'm so
tastes better
tired of
with
this."
that heat.
But just let people like their things. Okay? Just let people like their things. You know, if they want to drink pumpkin spice year round, go for it. I have
You're
no
preaching
problem.
to the choir here. I'm a pumpkin spice boy myself.
Are you? Do you wear
am.
your leggings and your fuzzy UGG boots and your
I
your
wear
vest
I
and-
wear Uggs for sure when I go to Starbucks, and I
Okay.
do my hair a certain way, and I mumble. Oh, do I mumble with my coffee in my hand? I just
That's
walk around outside Starbucks, shuffling around in my Uggs and mumbling into my
That's a
pumpkin
sexy
spice
look.
latte until I am
That's-
picked
no.
up either by a sexy girl or the police. If I'm lucky, it's
Either-
both.
Either way, if you're lucky, you're getting picked up no matter what. Also,
it's a grande.
yeah, it's him again. It's him again. Can we get the police over here, please? But wait, he's
Oh, that's
so
just
handsome.
Johnny. We leave him alone.
I'm so interested in him. I should go over and talk to him.
Excuse me. Do you make board games?
It's where you should. It's like the Herbalife thing. I make board games. Ask me how. Where that pin.
Ask me about who goes first.
Oh my God, that's such a good button. Please, that's a great pin. Oh my God. So also September is National Preparedness Month. I'm going to ask you a series.
I wasn't ready.
I know you weren't ready. That's why I'm asking you this. Do you have like a go bag or a survival kit or preparedness in your home for earthquake, major flooding, any natural disaster?
I have a gambler's roll of $100 bills and a false identity. Is that the same thing?
Saying, well, that's kind of more of a go bag. That's
Yeah.
a bug out bag. Yeah,
That's a bug-out bag.
Yeah. No, we have. I've got canned water. I've got 2 fully stocked first aid kits, basically backpacks filled with gloves and wire cutters and those foil blankets and Band-Aids and antiseptic and all that stuff. So just in case, I was a safety czar at my other job, where a floor safety czar. So I learned actually from a really good person about what you should have in your home, and so that's always kind of been in the back of my mind, and I have it, so I'm ready. I can go 3
I think
days.
we got a couple old beeswax candles around here somewhere.
Perfect. That's perfect. Yeah, I've got basically 3 days of water and 3 days of food, but it would be rationed food for 3 adults, and I've got extra stuff set aside for dogs, and so just in case, because you see the destruction and the flooding that's just happening up and down the southern coast and the east coast, and it's like, man. So that's a perfect time to start taking stock of what you got in your house. National Preparedness Month. I will also put up a link for that so you can read what you probably, at least the basics, you should have around for you. And then as far as we continue on in this year, the CDC has added 2 more islands getaways to the very high COVID-19 travel list, Jamaica and Sri Lanka. So the list keeps getting longer and longer.
Of places that we shouldn't go because it's too COVID-y?
The risk is high to catch it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's too COVID-y. So
I
that's
thought
the
that
unfortunate.
outside already included all those places.
Well, it does. But I think these are just places where population density is high and vaccination rates are very low.
Speaking of
So-
going outside,
Yeah.
I just before the broadcast, I got a notification from my HOA in Las Vegas
Okay.
that in 1 week they will do a fire inspection, and I have to be there to let them in, or I have to put somebody in that house to let them in 1 week. And it's
Oh.
just like every year these bastards, they get that window gets shorter and shorter, and
Right.
they give you less and less notice that it's going to happen. So I think I may be flying down a week early and just taking care of it myself. I was going to go down there in 2 weeks from now anyway, and I'm just like, well, I have a friend in town with a key. Can I hassle? Is that worth the hassle? when I bought this place, I gave them a key and they lost it.
Oh,
So they should be able to get in themselves. I could write them that note, but I've done it many times and they've been like, we don't have that anymore.
we don't know. I think they conveniently lost it so the responsibility wasn't there anymore.
I think they changed HOA directors and I don't think they did it on purpose, and if that's
Whatever.
what conveniently means. But I do think it's very convenient for them that they can't help me do the most basic of things.
Yeah, that's frustrating. I'm not a fan of HOAs. Never have been. So we have our own issues here with our HOA. So
Yeah, you can't,
yeah,
when you buy a condo, you can't not be part of that.
you cannot. You have to be part of it. Are your dues up there? Our dues keep going up all the time.
They are up there. They haven't increased since I bought the place, but they are certainly up there.
Okay, yeah, ours are up there, but
But,
keep
sometimes they
going up.
have a pool, so that's cool, I guess.
We don't even have that. We don't have a clubhouse. We don't have a pool. We don't have anything, and still we're paying a huge chunk of change. Anyway, you know what? We're gonna take a break and prepare some room for our sponsor, shall we?
This week's episode of Here All Week is brought to you by Chimerisec from Euphemism Labs.
Friends, have you lost that certain special something?
Do you no longer have whatever it takes?
Are you lately humbled in the unmentionable act?
Have you been dumping the apple cart or misunderstanding the fundamental purpose of the Zamboni?
We can't say it here, but you probably know what we're talking about.
I think they probably do.
If your get up and go has got up and went, ask your doctor about Chimerisec.
If you're not taking the kids to soccer practice, Chimerisec might be for you.
If you no longer glimpse the future in Galadriel's pool, or if you wake up every morning with a bowl of cold noodles, consider the possibilities of God damn it. If you no longer glimpse the future in Galadriel's pool, or if you wake up every morning with a bowl of cold noodles, consider the possibilities of Chimerisec.
With a new toddler in the house, it seemed like my Tinky Winky was always Dipsy and her Lala was always Poe. But with Chimerisec, the Nunu is sucking up everything in the Superdome.
That's a visual. God. Okay, I'm sorry. I can hold it together. I can do this. Go on.
It's you.
Oh, is it me? This is professionalism, people, right here. Chimerisec is safe and effective and half the cost of the leading brand.
Show your significant other who's ready for their close-up with Chimerisec. We promise it won't get weird.
Our little green pill will have you changing the guard at Buckingham Palace like an Olympic speed skater.
Swagger down the road with confidence with 10 in the mag and 1 in the chamber.
Never bring the Jell-O salad to the family picnic again.
Has it been too long since you took the Patriots to the Super Bowl?
Chimerisec shines your rusty tools to a long-forgotten sheen.
Chimerisec blows the leaves out of the secret garden.
It sure does. Now you can swing for the fences night after night.
And always bring a coin for the ferryman with Chimerisec.
Ask your doctor for a free sample and a personal demonstration.
And be sure to read our exhaustive list of product warnings. Find them in a special 6-page spread in Softcore Party magazine.
Such great warnings. I couldn't stop reading.
With Chimerisec, I'm running the transatlantic cable and driving the golden spike with uncanny frequency, if you know what I mean.
I think I do. You're taking little Red to grandmother's house.
Adjusting the rabbit ears.
Polishing the Stanley Cup.
Defrosting the refrigerator.
Docking with the International Space Station.
Rescuing Aladdin from the Cave of Wonders.
Servicing the drive shaft on your 67 Fastback.
And if you order now, you'll get a double subscription for the same price so you can use twice as much as you need.
That sounds amazing. So gobble up that turkey and go back for seconds with Chimerisec from Euphemism. That sounds amazing. So gobble up the turkey and go back for seconds with Chimerisec from Euphemism Labs.
We promise it won't get weird.
We also do steaks, if you know what I mean.
I think they know. I think they know what we're
Rich,
talking about.
I was pre-reading this and laughing so hard. Rich is like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Wait till you hear this. Wait."
I got that this week. I was texting with somebody and they were like, LOL. And then 5 minutes later, they're like, no, really, I had to tell my husband because I laughed out loud. Well, a genuine LOL. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's a compliment.
I really
A
appreciate it.
comedian likes to know that his work is appreciated.
You know, as long as you're making people laugh, you're doing your job.
Everything else is excusable. That's my philosophy.
James, are you everything else okay? Are you an iPhone user or are you another phone user?
I see. There are only two categories of phone, the iPhone and everything else. I am a dedicated iPhone user. I have one right here next to me, thinking about it all the time.
I want you to know that on Tuesday, September 14th, Apple is going to have a virtual event and announce the new phones. The tagline is California Streaming.
I wonder what it could be.
Oh, I don't know. However, they're expected to add 4 new smartphones to its lineup: the iPhone 13 mini, the iPhone 13, the 13 Pro, and the 13 Pro Max. And
just so that our listeners don't mistake this as an ad for the iPhone, I guarantee I'm not replacing this thing unless they break it themselves.
Exactly. And let's see, they're also reportedly readying its Apple Watch Series 7 with new health features and better battery life. And its next generation AirPods 3.
I need all that. I need California. I need better battery life. I need new features.
You know, the thing that is going to make me really angry if they do this, and they probably will, is they're going to change the charging capabilities of it. So you got to get another cord and another thing
cable?
and another thing. Yes.
Yeah, that happens every so often. Planned obsolescence isn't all that new. It's just always frustrating.
It is frustrating. I just wish they wouldn't do that. Don't do that. It makes Kelly mad. So, folks at Apple, don't. That's all I'm saying.
If you have an iPhone, I have a solution to the problem where lint gets in the charger and it stops charging, like you can't get the thing plugged all the way in. Yeah. I take a Post-it note and fold it in on itself so it's a little sticky piece of paper, because you can't stick anything metal in there, but you can stick a Post-it note into that slot and it'll pull out the lint.
Oh, that's actually a good hack.
Yeah, it works pretty good.
That. That's a great hack.
Well, Kelly, would you like to do some trivia?
I would love some. Yes, thank you.
Here All Week brings you great moments in audio. Our trivia for this week. Last week's recording session was absolute crap, thanks to the audio coming through James's AirPods when he thought it was coming through his actual microphone. As an olive branch of deepest regret, we now bring you 7 trivia questions about great moments in the history of broadcasting. Are you ready, Kelly?
I am ready.
Question 1, in March of 1876, Alexander Graham Bell famously sent the very first words transmitted by telephone. What did he say?
Watson, come here. I need you.
Very good. That is very good. The actual quote from the internet is, Mr. Watson, come here. I want to see you. In truth, inventor Elisha Gray had already invented a similar device, and Bell might even have snuck a peek at his patent filings, but huge legal battles eventually gave Alexander Graham Bell the prize of getting famous for it.
Aha.
Question 2. In his first inauguration address in March 1933, President Franklin Roosevelt reassured the victims of the Great Depression that the only thing we have to fear is...
fear itself.
That is correct. He apparently didn't know about Nazis yet.
Well, they were going to learn.
His was the last inauguration held on the constitutionally prescribed date in March. It was moved back to January 20th in 1937, which also means that that particular presidential administration was shorter than usual.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Question 3. Chicago radio man Herbert Morrison famously reported live on the horrifying explosion and crash of this aircraft in Manchester Township, New Jersey in May of 1937.
That was the Hindenburg.
That was the Hindenburg.
Yeah.
This fatal explosion claimed the lives of 13 passengers and 22 crewmen and marked the end of the airship era. And I also read, although I didn't write this one down, that the last survivor of the Hindenburg died about 3 years ago.
Oh, I didn't realize there were survivors from that crash.
Only about a third of the people on board actually died, and one person on the ground. Yeah. Everyone else kind of made it somehow.
Wow.
It's still pretty horrifying, though.
Yeah.
Question 4. On October 30th, 1938, radio host Orson Welles reported on a live alien invasion, which many listeners believed was really happening. What was the name of that program?
That's War of the Worlds.
Yes, it is. It's based on the H.G. Wells novel from 1898. War of the Worlds was remade into a Tom Cruise film in 2005, which fooled absolutely no one.
Here's what I learned about that broadcast is that the reason I think if I remember correctly, the reason people panicked is because the beginning of the show was cut off or interrupted.
Well,
and it
even if
started
it wasn't,
late.
they tuned in the middle of the show, and they did have a
Yes.
disclaimer at the beginning that said, "This is not really happening, ladies and gentlemen. This is a
Right.
fantasy." But of course, you can't just say that every 10 seconds. And yeah, if you
No.
tune in the middle, it is possible to
Yeah.
freak out.
And
Question
they
number
did.
6.
Freak out they did.
MTV Music Television debuted in August of 1981. What was the very first video played on MTV?
Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles.
Very good. MTV's
Okay.
original crew of video jockeys, or VJs, included, can you name any of the original VJs?
Oh, God. I can see it. Alan something. Nina
Ooh,
something.
Alan something is right. Nina something is right.
Yeah, Martha. Martha.
Martha something? You're
Yeah,
half
Martha
right
something.
so far.
JJ. JJ.
Uh-huh. Good. Any
Uh,
last names here?
Mark. Mark.
Good. You named it. You got all 5 of them.
Oh, okay.
MTV's original crew
Martha
of video
Quinn.
jockeys
I finally
included
remembered it.
Martha Quinn, which is the only one I can remember, Nina Blackwood, Mark Goodman, Alan Hunter Jr., and J.J. Jackson.
There
Due
you
to
go.
uncertainty around the channel's success, the VJs were told not to buy permanent residences and to keep their second jobs.
Oh, wow. Well, they were wrong, weren't they?
Well, it's so hard to be right. Question 7. Alternative Seattle radio station KNDD 107.7 The End went on the air in August 1991 and survives to this day. What was the first song broadcast on The End?
Oh, that's a good question. Wasn't it Smells Like Teen Spirit from Nirvana?
It probably could have been, but it was It's the End of the World as We Know It by REM.
Oh, okay, by REM. Got it.
Yep. Luckily, the world hasn't ended yet, although it keeps trying. Meanwhile, the cutting edge of 1991 now sounds like hardware store music. Question 8. In the 2000 McGee blockbuster Charlie's Angels, Bill Murray's Bosworth is imprisoned in a lighthouse in Carmel and communicates with the angels via a radio hidden in his mouth. Natalie, played by Cameron Diaz, recognizes the sounds of a particular bird over the radio, leading the angels to Bosworth's exact location. What was the bird?
Oh, my God, I have
No, seriously. The actual question is name literally anyone else who is in this movie.
I can't. I can't.
The bird was the
wait.
pygmy nuthatch, Psitipygmaea. Pygmy nuthatches are actually found all over the western U.S., but that doesn't matter because the bird in the movie was played by a tropical bird called the troupial and voiced by some kind of finch, maybe. Thanks for playing great moments in audio with us, and here's hoping we have a better sound quality from now on.
Oh, your sound quality was golden, my friend. And you
Thank
didn't
you very
mumble
much.
that much. Next time.
Well, I'm
do
trying
more
not to,
mumbling.
turn you on with my mumbling sexiness.
Do more mumbling. Okay, James, what you got coming up this week?
Well, first of all, I'd like to put a little plug in for one of our alternate shows. We just did our very first episode of something called Out and About at the Ren Fair down in Spokane, Tanky, Washington. I forget already where it was.
Bonnie Lake.
Bonnie Lake, Washington. We did about a 7-minute broadcast from the Ren Fair, and I think that's only going to be on YouTube. We're not going to put the audio here on the. So if
Yeah,
you listen to
yeah,
our
it's-
broadcast on audio, go check out our YouTube channel for Out and About with Kelly and
Yep.
James.
I'll have the link there on our show page as well. So your plans to go to Hawaii may be moved up a week. That's one of them, right? Right?
I'm going to Las Vegas. I may never return to Hawaii. That's sad state of an island. It's still
Okay,
closed for
it's
COVID
Las
and hard
Vegas.
to get to. No, I'm going to Vegas a week early because I may be on hand for my fire inspection.
Yep, no fire here. Thanks for coming in. Bye.
Bye.
It's for the safety of everyone. I totally understand.
If the price is too high, I've got a friend in town with a key. I'll make her do it. But if the price is low enough, I'll just take care of it myself. I was going down there in a week anyway.
Exactly. Let's see. I will be taking my husband Richard for a COVID test tomorrow. He is under the weather. He has, sore throat, aches, pains. He's not running a fever, and he still has a sense of taste and smell, but we're just going to go do that just to be safe, just to be sure.
No, it's
Make
worth
sure
it to do the
everything's
test
okay.
because COVID doesn't give you any symptoms at all, and sometimes when it does, it just picks randomly from a huge list. So
Yep.
who knows
Yep.
what you've got until you test it out.
So fingers crossed that it's just a crappy cold
The
because
common cold.
the common cold, a crappy cold, because basically with all the school has started and he's been in the building putting in new AV stuff, so around a bunch of people. And so it's like, even if it isn't COVID, you still were around a bunch of people, and so picked up a crud from somewhere. So we're going to go find out just to make sure. But
I'm super curious whether over the next few years we will be getting colds less because we spend less time with people, or getting colds more because our immune systems are completely shot. I have no idea what's going to happen.
I don't know either. So hence the reason why I'm still washing my hands all the time, and I wear masks when I go out. Whether or not there are haters who say, "What, are you scared?" Yes, I am. I just don't want to get sick.
Have you seen the graph of the flu? Did we talk about this before? I saw someone sent me a picture of flu, year by year, just continuing to go up and up and up. And I said, well, how is this special? And then I realized that I was missing the column for 2020 is so small it doesn't even show up. That what's really happening in this picture is no one is getting the flu at all right now, which is debatably difficult for people who are trying to make vaccines for it. But still, this mask wearing isn't just keeping us from getting COVID, and this hiding in our houses isn't just keeping us from getting COVID.
Right.
It's keeping us from getting all kinds of stuff.
Right. So people are disgusting.
That's
Germs
true
and
too.
Everything. Ew. People are disgusting. Folks, however, our Dirty Dozens are not disgusting at all. I love you guys, you people, you folks, all y'all. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, be kind to yourself, be kind to your family, your friends, your community, your neighbors. We're all going through it. Like and subscribe this show, tell your friends. And again, thanks for spending time. My name is Kelly Wright.
And I'm James Ernest, and we're here all week.